Are there any other misconceptions that clients have about a build that you have to you find yourself having to reassure them?
Well, I guess because what we're doing is presenting, I was going to say something new. It's not new, of course. It's very traditional.
Yeah.
All of what we're discussing about proper traditional play. But our solution to it, we're fairly new into that market.
Yeah.
So the challenge is ours. We have to show and explain, and we have to get engagement from our customer, who by definition is the CEO or we're back, it's grown-ups.
Yeah, it is grown-ups. You're absolutely
and we've got to explain.
Grown-ups who've got a bottom line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's that sort of cost first. But
cost versus value.
But what we do is no more expensive than traditional playground equipment. So the numbers work in our favour. We are not necessarily, it's difficult to say like for like, but
size for size type thing.
Project size, we can very comfortably work within, a standard, normal sort of budget allowance that a spreadsheet, pinstripe suit accountant board member might have in their head. So we can respond.
CFO now, aren't you?
Okay. But they're all there. But of course the magic is they probably have children.
That's the magic, isn't it?
And I think once we can speak to them directly, they get to meet me.
Yeah, and once they've met you. Yeah, no, seriously, once they've met you, there's a reassurance about you, what you've done and how you do it that comes across when you talk to somebody.
But Joe, it always has been our job. When we started 25 years ago, we were the longest standing Treehouse business. So when we started, it was pioneering. We had to explain what we do. We had to create our customers. Our customers didn't exist naturally, and they weren't just out there queuing up for a treehouse. There wasn't a treehouse company doing treehouses. So we had to, we've built up actually a deep knowledge and experience. We've built a sort of wisdom and sort of brain behind everything that we do. There's a lot of thought. We've had to create the nuance of what we do and how we deliver it, how we price it, how we sell that in a traditional sales meeting. But at the same time, we have built the words and the sentences and the image library over 25 years. That sort of video library we can show and explain. But
you understand.
It's our job to do that.
Yeah.
It's a hard job, but it's our job to do that. It's our challenge. So we take that on completely.
And then reassure when you get
I never assume that it would be dangerous to assume that anybody was inside my head or
scary.
That's a really scary
It's a very
place.
scary thought, absolutely.
But it's my job to explain that, which
absolutely.
is part of what
and to
we're
reassure,
doing
absolutely.
today, just sort of discussing it and learning.
So, in your opinion, what makes a site ready? What do you think are the key things that make a site ready for one of your tree houses or one of your play experiences?
It's definitely having the right people at the top of that organisation.
Okay.
I mean, where we've really had great relationships and the opportunity to really, really excel at what we do. We've had people at CEO and C-suite level who believe in what we're seeking to achieve. They believe it as well. And we work, it's much more a partnership than a strict purchase sales relationship.
And is there, in your opinion, is there a right stage in the growth of a resort to build one? Or
I'd come right back to brand level again. We talked about this earlier. I think it needs to be part of we've
ideally, obviously, because there are lots of resorts out there that are built. But
no, absolutely. And we've just finished a project in Hawaii, which was for really sort of high end, really well known brand. Hundreds, perhaps thousands of hotels worldwide, but it's the really sort of high end version of that particular brand, we would all know the brand. It's like baked beans. It's Heinz. It's a really well-known brand. They, again, we're at the point where they are looking at attracting more family-based customers. In Hawaii is, I don't know, the results being there 15, 20 years. So they're sort of almost reinventing either reinventing or responding to demand.
So the right stage isn't necessarily time, i.e. at the beginning, in the middle. It's when, at whatever stage, the resort is thinking, how can we improve the family experience? How can we become a family-based destination point that's chosen?
I think that's really key. Yeah. And I think I would also be distinct in the view that is sometimes taken that we'll attract parents and the children of those parents are not thought about.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about here are brands that are beginning to understand that in order to attract family, it's whole family and whole family activity, creativity, imagination. What exists previous to that is the family holiday where the kids are the add-on.
Yeah.
And that's reflected in the traditional playground or the kids' swimming pool. I ask this question, why is the kids' swimming pool always a smaller, less attractive pool to the grown-up swimming? It's like the poor relation.
It's the add-on, isn't it?
Why not make the kids' pool the most exciting pool? Make the grown-ups pool the one that's to do with swimming lanes.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. So if there's somebody listening now who is high up in a resort, has a decision-making process, what's the first step? If they were keen to explore this, what's the first step they should take?
Conversation. Please come and speak to us.
What does an early conversation look like?
We all start with a wish list, and it's the same. It's the same. So really an understanding that we're trying to address the same position. We can do that in partnership. So, it's a phone call, it's a relationship.
Right.
The sooner that we can get to a site consultation, it doesn't necessarily need to be with the CEO, but that's always, that's wonderful because that really helps us as a company flow into the imagination. If
they're an international site consultation, do you go out to them or do you do it? Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and there's a lot that we can do with all the sort of Zoom type arrangements. But what always works for us is direct relationship with the landscape and the person who's going to make the decision.
And they need to meet you, Paul. They do. They need to meet you and understand.
I think that's key. And we make that really comfortable. It doesn't need to be expensive. We don't make money from that element of our work. It comes back to what I was saying. It's our job, my job as CEO and founder of this company, to make it easy for them to have a conversation with us. And I understand fully the importance of eye-to-eye contact and feel contact, feel energy, emotional energy. CEOs run businesses, but when you meet face to face and you're meeting in what could become a play space, we all become more childlike in our thoughts and our wishes and our energies. And I'm not suggesting I end up playing tag with the CEO of a resort, but we can draw upon the relationships that we have.
And in a world of AI and Zoom, it is lovely, isn't it, just to be with somebody and understand them and get, as you say, the energy. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you and talk about this, the first thing is pick up the phone or drop you an email.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I mean, we've got websites and so on. But,
websites and social media. Absolutely.
That could move very quickly. A phone call, it could be a Zoom. So obviously, right at the very start, that's the touch point. Perfect. But then what I will be saying to that person is, look, how soon can we get together?
Fantastic.
Let's meet. Let's try and fill the space. Let's try and make that happen as soon as we can.
Great.
Thanks for listening to the Treehouse Life podcast. If this episode sparked your imagination, follow along and stay connected. You can find more of our work, stories from the treetops, and adventures around the world at Treehouse Life HQ. Until next time, keep exploring.